with Bishop Robert, Alison, and Mike, and the jingle. Great.
And Malcolm is running away.
Malcolm is running away.
Hi, Malcolm.
A lot on today. Not a confirmation. So we have had a lot of great readings.
Really great.
With Psalm 73, and then the Old Testament, which is Judges 9.
9.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, I just made a comment earlier. What a lot of sons.
Yes, it's Gideon, right?
Gideon.
Yeah,
Jeremiah.
70, but this is sort of the mother's side of the family versus the father's side of the family thing. Is that right? I mean, he goes off to his mother's family and sort of basically says, I want to be king, and gets the mother's side to agree.
Abimelech, you mean, does?
Abimelech, yeah.
son.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then goes and
The
kills
king's
all his
folk.
brothers on his father's side.
Yes. And then we hear the parable of the trees,
That's
where it
fantastic.
said
Yes.
that instead of having an olive tree or a vine or a fig tree, a benevolent tree all over them, they'd chosen a bramble, and that fire will spring forth from the bramble because of their treacherous behaviour and will devour them all.
So there's basically
It's a parable for our times.
Absolutely.
a parable for our time, definitely. And because basically an unworthy leader, right?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely,
That's right. The
yeah.
foolishness of those who choose an unworthy leader and then are devoured themselves.
Well, things haven't changed much.
Goodness
That's
me.
really
Oh
past
my goodness.
3,000 years. Amazing. And they get that. Is that sort of is that a punishment because of what has happened? Because of Abimelech being supported by the mother's side of the family, right? The Lord is Shechem. This gets so confusing.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they killed 70 reasonably good men, don't they?
Yeah.
They just put them to death. And then they go for another leader. And the book of Judges is about the progressive degeneration of the people of Israel.
Right.
As they get further and further from God, and this is another step on the way.
It's a sort of cycle, isn't it, in Judges? There always be the next bad thing after the next bad
Yes,
thing.
it is.
And
Yes.
then punishment. Wow.
Right.
Right, so let's
New Testament.
move on.
Ah,
Well, the New
fantastic.
Testament's quite different, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, amazing. I mean, that is an all-time classic, isn't it? That
Yeah.
It is.
amazing reading.
Yeah.
I always think of the painting in up in St. Petersburg by Rembrandt.
Yeah, the Rembrandt.
Yes.
So the prodigal
Yes.
son thing. With the I didn't know this until I came to Russia. I only found out about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. The thing of the two hands.
Mm.
One is supposedly female, and one is male. I love that idea.
Yes, that's right. And you have the elder son just hiding there
In the
in
back,
the background, don't you? That's right.
disapproving and upset.
Yes. Mm.
An amazing story.
Yes.
Mm.
And Henri Nouwen, when he writes about this, and he invites us to imagine whether we're more like the younger son or the older son, or indeed like the father. And can we aspire to be like the father who reconciles?
Yeah.
It's so
together.
true, actually, isn't it? Because there's a little bit of that other son, and I'm certainly recognising it myself sometimes when it's like, why does he get the fatted calf?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I've
definitely.
been working like a slave.
And it's sort of the link, isn't it, between the older son is sort of, I mean, is it Jesus saying that, that the Pharisees are like the older son and the younger son are like the sinners?
Right.
I'm
the
not sure if
Gentiles.
that's the
Gentiles.
Yes, bringing
Yeah.
in the Gentiles, becoming more
That's-
recently
Right.
represented by
Yeah.
the Jews who don't think they really have a place at the table.
And yet they've been the ones who are going to be at home all the time doing the slaving and actually have always had the benefit of God's love.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And will they make space for the Gentiles?
Right. Being
That's
accepted.
a big question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's another really good book that we've done actually as a Bible study group here, called The Prodigal God, not the Prodigal Son.
Yes.
Tim Keller,
Yes.
and that puts another whole perspective on this as well.
It's really interesting
Brilliant.
when you look
Really
at
good book to read.
you always think of the Gentiles as being, that sort of represents that parable of the guy who's beaten up and left at the side of the road.
Good Samaritan.
Good Samaritan, thank you. You always think that's the one about the Gentiles, but actually Gentiles pop up over and over again
Yes.
in everything that
yes.
Jesus says.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
About
right.
bringing them in, even in stories like this, where it's not quite so apparent, but this is a metaphor for it. Great.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm always struck by the the way that the son, the prodigal son, as we call him, is painted, because his behaviour is totally outrageous. The way he
Yes.
asks for a share of the property that belongs to him. In other words, he wants this inheritance now, as if the father is already dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the extent to which he is uncaring about the father. He just wants his inheritance now, as if, Father, why don't you just just die
Die.
so that I can have the money.
Yeah.
And then he goes and squanders it, and ends up feeding the pigs, which for a Jew, of course, is the worst
Terrible.
thing you could
Yeah.
possibly do, the height of uncleanness.
Mm.
So he goes as far away as is possible from the father, to a far country, lives in degradation and squalor, and is rescued from that position to full sonship again.
But he at some point he sees the light, doesn't he? He sort of understands. He goes, well, hang on a minute. It
Yes.
actually says he comes to himself.
Comes to
doesn't it?
himself.
Yeah. He figures out, hang on, even my father's slaves are having a better deal than
Not
I am.
eating
Why just go back and be a slave?
Yes.
So at some point the sort of penny drops.
Yes. And so the good news there with the younger son is that however far from God people stray, there is always hope, and God is always ready to welcome
redemption.
us back.
But it takes the effort on us to make that first step. Is that right?
To come to oneself.
To come to oneself.
To come to oneself, yes, but there's the point about the father is standing and waiting and looking
Right.
all the time, isn't he? So he hasn't gone away.
He's always been there.
He's the one that's
Yeah.
he's still there, and he runs to meet him, doesn't he?
Yes. So the son doesn't even need to go all the way home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's nice. It's really to welcome him in. Yeah, just in case he might have a bit cold feet as he approaches home.
Well,
Father's always there.
well,
Yeah.
well, what a great passage to begin
Yeah, superb. And we ended with I'm using words there. I want to say coronation. It's not coronation. Confirmation.
Confirmation.
We do the confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today? Yes, that's right.
Very good. Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
see you all maybe later on today at the confirmation or tomorrow
Or
morning.
the coronation.
The coronation, indeed.
Straight.
And have a great day. Very hot and sunny out there today. Yeah.
Good to be with you.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Press the button, don't we? It's the well done.
Oh, Alison's enormous hands.
That's great.
And I still haven't done it. I have done it now.
End.